Hey guys, another entry into my little diary I'm kind of keeping for this first playthrough of the Sith raid. I just thought it'd be interesting to chronicle each phase of the raid that I go through. So today we're on phase 2 against Sion, and I used the Phoenix squad this time mainly because I've only got a few good mods, so I last had my good mods on these guys, especially from the territory battle that we're currently playing through, and there's like a tier 6 Phoenix squad mission. So I left all my good mods on them, so I thought, hey, let's go fight Sion before I have to take them off. So this turned out to be pretty interesting. Like, they did a fair bit of damage, and I know it's only tier 4, but I expect this to scale up. I mean, especially if you scale up the gear and stuff of these characters. The only question I've got is how hard Sion hits at the higher levels, because at this stage, when we had all these cycles of pain and suffering, I didn't care. I was like, fine, it allows me to hit you harder, and he was apparently hitting me harder as well. I just didn't feel it as much. Now this might be down to the fact that Phoenix have such great synergy, especially with recovering health, protection, damage output, counterattacks, the fact Kanan can taunt and take some heavy damage himself. It all ties in nicely, and I'd go through some of those effects later on, but this was a really good little attempt to do it through. I would be curious to see how much harder he hits at those higher levels and whether I'd actually use Soothe to actually get rid of some of these effects. But for me, I was like, nope, give me that offense up. I want 150% offense higher. And the main tactic I was using Sabine to use Armor Shred. Now this is supposed to do minus 50% armor, but because Sion's a fearsome foe, it halves that effect. So it's minus 25% armor per stack. So any chance I got, I'd just keep armor shredding him. And this allowed me, with the stacks of pain and suffering, whatever, to keep dealing extra damage, because if his armor was being lowered and my offense was going up, especially when you add on Ezra's ability to gain 40% max offense over 4 turns until he's defeated, that means the entire Phoenix squad gain 40% offense up. Now, what I think CG could do is do a better symbol for the cycle of suffering. Because at first I was like, when's this turn into cycle of suffering? Because it's only because Kanan's got a cycle of pain that I noticed his icon was different. If it's just a rounded skull, that's stacks of pain or cycles of pain. But as soon as it's got those little cracks in the skull, that's where it becomes cycle of suffering. For it to become cycle of suffering, you have to have 5 stacks of pain. And for 5 stacks of pain, it's whenever you attack Sion. So if you attack Sion, you get a stack of pain. So I need to find out if Sabine, when she does her attack, if she gets 4 stacks of pain, because she can potentially hit 4 times. But it was all good fun. They lasted until the end, and as you can see, this might do better with Chopper, because he can dispel buffs, which the offense up that Sion gets. I always try to debuff him as soon as possible. And he can reduce cooldowns and give offense or defense or speed up to an ally. So if you imagine, if I could get Sabine or Ezra going even faster, especially Sabine, who can get that armor shred going, if she can keep doing that almost every other turn, if Chopper could hopefully cool her down, we could do even more damage than the 2 million that I did on tier 4. Now, I expect this again to scale up, because I feel that health for the enemy gets higher the lower tier you go down. So they also hit less harder, which kind of counteracts it. So I'd be curious to see how that goes up. But yeah, I did 2 attempts of this, and I'll put the first recording in if I've got that somewhere. And I'll be looking at other teams throughout this. I just thought it was fun to highlight Phoenix, because I don't think anyone's really given him much of a look in. Hopefully I'll have a day 3 diary, and we'll see what Treya brings, because I thought Sion was a very entertaining fight, so I look forward to facing Treya and seeing what difficulties she presents. However, she has been fixed because her immunity to turn meter removal wasn't working, so damn it. I was looking forward to abusing that mechanic, but they fixed that real fast.